Hello guys, Kalmier here again, and I'm going to go ahead and continue my Let's Play video. We were working on the mob spawner, however before continuing that I would like to go ahead and get some glass so I can make my viewing area, as well as I also like to see the mobs coming through the mob elevator as they rise up. Actually before I do that, let's clear this out real quick. I don't like the way that this comes up to this dead end, so I'm going to block that off, and I'm also going to go ahead and open this up so that I can actually turn to the side whenever I reach the top of the ladder. There we go. Alright, now I'm also going to go ahead and get those pumpkins that I saw during the first episode, and then I also know that I came from spawn point over in that direction and I crossed a lot of sand on my way. So after I get my pumpkins, I'm going to head over that way and get some sand. Okay, I've got a stack's worth of sand. I'm going to go ahead and stick that in here to get it started. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep. So it's daytime. Alright, here we go. Got those pumpkins. Again, I'm going to stick the pumpkins in here as well as some of these other things I gathered while I was out, so that I can save those. And now for the mob grinder. Okay, and while the glass is in the furnace, I need to do a couple things down in the monster spawner area. I need to go ahead and move the chest in the furnace, as well as get some water, make 2 buckets to get some water sources, and make an infinite water spring. And so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, I've made my infinite water source, and I've got 23 glass. Do some real quick math. My hole is 2 by 2, 2 blocks on each side, so that's 8 total, and I'm 3 high, so that's 24 pieces of glass that I'm going to need. So let me double check that real quick, and there's 24. Go ahead and put some of these excess items that I don't need. I'm going to keep the iron in case I need it for something. And okay, go ahead and grab any glass that's been made, and we will go ahead and head down. Okay, so the first thing I need to do, actually I'm going to do a couple things. I need to go ahead and tear this out, so let's start with that. And again, these are going to drop down 2 off the platform. So whenever they're in the channels, they can't jump back up. So I'm going to go ahead and dig this part out. And so they'll be this far under the mob elevator's shaft. And today I'm just going to show you how to actually do the mob elevator's water part. I'm not actually going to build the water flows that lead into the middle until the next episode. And that should be far enough. Go ahead and do some here. Now this also requires a lot of signs, so let me go get those real fast. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my glass, and I'm going to build 3 of the walls. I'm going to build this wall, the back wall, well, I call it the back, but technically that's the back, and this wall. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this side open for now, just so that I can get in and out of here easily. I'm also going to go ahead and build a infinite water source down here. Get the water. Okay, and from here, let's go ahead and fill up the water buckets and put a whole bunch of signs in place. Now, since this is only a 3 source water corner, only the corner part is the infinite stream, so make sure you don't pull from any of the sides. Let me get a block of dirt here. Okay, and now the way that this works is, actually I'm going to have to build this down a little bit. So we'll go 2 down there, 2 down there, we'll go 3 down there. And this will just be where I jump through. Okay, so the way that this works is you have to have signs on opposite corners. This is 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you think about it, if I were to put a sign on this window, it would take up this entire square. So it's also going to take up this square as well. So it'll be in this empty area. So I'm going to put a sign there, and I'm also going to go ahead and put one on the opposite corner. So if this is taking up this corner, I need one on this corner. So I'm going to put one there. So they're opposite of each other. Okay, and then from there, you're going to go diagonally up. And same on the other side, diagonally up. And now I'm not going to put water in the bottom ones yet because I still have to do this, the water flows in here. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and start with the ones above. And as you can see, this sign, the bottom sign, and that other sign on the other side is holding this water block in place. That sign, this sign, and the one above me is holding this water block in place. And so mobs can go jumping through the water, and you're going to alternate these. So the next sign is actually going to go on the on top of that water block over there, and this sign's going to go there. So you got one here, one there, one there. They go back and forth. They're always never facing each other, always on opposite corners of the area. And get my water sources here. I can put one there, and I can put one there. Okay. So as you can see, when mobs actually enter in this area, they will be able to swim up these water sources, and they won't drown because you go in one water block and then in an air block, and then this one will be a water block again. So as you go up, you keep catching your breath every time you hit every time you hit an air block. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera, and I will come back once I have that finished, or at least most of it finished. Okay guys, I am back, and I have my water elevator going almost all the way up. Before I finish that though, I wanted to do this on camera. If you notice, I am missing 3 health bubbles. The reason for this was a bug before this last patch where every time you logged in you would take half a bubble of damage. I've not fought any mobs, and I've not fallen off of anything high enough to do damage to me. So I'm going to actually switch this over to peaceful to regen those health back now that he's actually fixed that bug. And so from this point on, any damage I take will be actual damage and not due to a bug. Anyway, I've made 3 or I'm sorry, 2 more water buckets, so now I have 4 to make this climb a little bit easier on myself. I also had to go ahead and plant more saplings upstairs and cut down more trees because it takes 2 signs per level that you climb, and we dropped down 24 plus levels, so that is roughly 50 or more signs that I needed. I've already counted. I am very close to the surface, so these last few signs that I have should go ahead and finish us off, get us all the way up to the top. As you can see, my air bubbles keep replenishing because every time I hit an air pocket, it removes my air bubbles. So I'm going to continue with the pattern of the zigzagging signs. And also going to go ahead and put water in each one of these pockets. That'll let me get a little bit higher. That'll let me get me a little bit higher. And I have just enough signs to do that last 2 layer. Go get more water for my buckets. And as I mentioned in my next video, I will go ahead and do the water canals. What I'll do before I start the videos, I'll go ahead and remove all the stone from the canals, making them 2 deep instead of just the current 1 deep that they're sitting at. And so I'll start the video with those already completed. And 2 more. 1, 2. Well, that brings me all the way to the surface, and that is the completion of the water elevator. I will see you next episode.